Ahoy, friends. It's me, Dave Landau. After a long night on stage, I like to kick back with a captain's hat and a fine cigar and watch the Dennis and Andy show. These guys are huge nerds, but they're the kind that you actually want to hang out with. Enjoy them. I do.
Certified badass.
Oh, don't adjust your dials. You are tuned in properly to the Dennis and Andy show. And you're going, but wait a second. It's not Wednesday. It's
right.
not 5 p.m. It's, well, you know, as Jimmy Buffett says, it's 5 o'clock somewhere. And it is a late night Dennis and Andy show because we're going to be streaming with the man from down under, Michael Bancroft, at 11 o'clock p.m. So in about an hour. And we thought we'd warm up. What's up, Randy Howe? Christopher Lord? What is up, your boy Rooftop Yeti? Look at these two people. Hello. We went out and caught a mid-afternoon movie, and we saw Barbarian. That's right, Barbarian, which is a weird title because you hear it and you think barbarians. But
And you know what I thought? I thought,
what?
Kor-Drath. Oh, we're going to go see a movie about Kor-Drath. Oh, yeah, no.
That's right. But it wasn't. But it's funny because I do have, the trailer I played for Kor-Drath, The Reckoning, which if you haven't go back it now. Link is in the description below. I do have a new trailer for that, which is on the campaign page, and I am going to show as well. But we want to talk about the movie Barbarian. It is a movie that came out last Friday, kind of snuck in under the radar. It is a horror movie. It's so weird. It's like, would you really call it a horror movie?
It is actually defined as a horror thriller.
I was going to say I'd go more thriller than horror. It is good. I don't know. I don't want to get into spoilers because it's only been out for a week. Am I going through my camera mic? I don't know. Let me see if I am. Hold on. That's why I love you guys. You let me know. I shouldn't be. I haven't changed anything, but let's see. Damn it. It changed. Check one. There we go. All right. That should sound better. For some reason, switch back to my camera instead of my blue snowball. So anyhow, thank you for letting me know about that. So Barbarian came out a week ago. I think it was the #1 movie last week at the end of the weekend.
Yeah, there wasn't a whole lot of competition.
No, there wasn't. And
I'm just surprised it beat out Maverick, Top Gun Maverick again, because that's still going.
It is, but everything has to go down eventually. It stars Skarsgård. What's his first name?
That's Bill. That's the younger brother.
Bill Skarsgård. Of course, you remember him from playing the clown in It. So it stars him. It stars, I don't even know the actor.
No different in this movie than what he did in It.
Oh, what are you talking about? It's 180 degree different. I can't remember the girl's name. I don't have the IMDb page up.
Her real name is Georgina Campbell.
That's it,
She
Georgina
plays
Campbell.
Tess.
Paul says, you guys still go to the movies? The lockdowns reminding me how much of a crappy experience it's become. Today was actually a fun experience. It was the two of us and one other person in this theater. This woman looked like she was in her mid to late 20s, and we were all in the same row. I mean, we were spread out.
She was actually sitting in our seats.
Yeah, she was actually sitting in our seats, and she's like, "Oh, I'll move." And I was like, "Nobody else is here. You're fine." So we sat down. She ended up moving about 5 seats down anyhow. But the nice thing was, with only 3 of us in the theater, we were actually cracking jokes during the movie because it was just 3 of us, and she actually kind of started it by commenting. And when she commented, we laughed and commented back. So that kind of opened the door to, oh, these guys are fun and will joke around and stuff. Because there were just Hollywood, horror movie tropes of, seriously, you're opening this door. It's a dark, 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 dark hallway in the basement of a house, and you're going to go down it? Seriously? With no weapons or anything?
So, the funny thing is we're sitting here, and like you said, the girl's cracking some jokes and making comments like, oh my God, are you really doing that? We're all laughing. We're all cracking jokes. And at this point, we're so smug. Usually I can figure out a lot of these movies. And we're so smug. You're like, oh my God, don't go down there. Oh my God, don't do this. It was literally one horror/thriller trope right after another. Don't do that. Don't leave your cell phone there. Oh my God, you guys are going to do it. Don't do this. Don't leave the door be open behind you. Oh, anyway, it was one thing after another. And we're like, wow. They had some good jump scares, but it was like, yeah, this isn't going anywhere. It's good, but it's not great. And then,
well, let's get into the story. I mean, the story is basically, it starts off with her name in the movie is Tess. And that's correct, right?
Yeah, Tess.
Yeah, Tess. And
something.
It's late at night. You don't know what time, midnight, maybe 1 a.m. Who knows? It's pouring rain. She shows up at this house that she booked as an Airbnb. She gets there. The key's not in the thing. The door's locked. She goes back to her car. She sees a light come on. Bill Skarsgård, who plays a guy named Keith, opens the door. Long story short, he booked it through this other company that's not an Airbnb. And any cars that couldn't start? Yes, there were. If you ask, we'll tell you. Yes, there were. That trope, check. So she shows up. So basically, he booked it through this other service. She books it through Airbnb. They can't get a hold of anybody. He's like, well, look, it's Detroit. It's not a great part of town. You might as well just crash here. The trailer really plays it up like Skarsgård is in on what's going down in the movie and is a bad guy. The trailer, I don't know, Dennis, it almost sounds like we might disagree because you were like, it was okay. What did you say just a few minutes ago? You were like, it's okay. They hit every trope. It's just okay. I mean, I thought it was better than okay because I thought there were some twists in it.
No, it was better than okay. So you've got to break the movie down, as I usually do, into thirds. The first third of the movie felt like a very stereotypical type of movie of that genre. Yeah.
Yes.
Yep, of course. Yep. Again, check the box. And I'm like, okay, it was good for what it was, seemingly. Now, remember, first third of the movie, seemingly. And I was like, okay, this is going to be a straightforward, standard slasher kind of thriller, being chased kind of movie. Okay, it's kind of like Halloween. I get it. All right. So first third of the movie, it was solid. It was enjoyable. Some jump scares, some good. But then you're like, oh, don't do all these stupid things. Don't go down there by yourself. Don't do that. So they literally had every trope. So I was like, okay, it'll be okay. It'll be like Scream 2 or something like that, was what my thought was at the end of the first and the third of the movie.
Right. And I like how you say when you look at a movie, you look at it in 3 parts. So what you're saying is you look at it in the traditional form of any type of story where there's a beginning, a middle, and an end. That's what you're saying?
Right. And I mean,
Yeah.
well, but in this one, it really holds true because this movie actually was. You could break it into three.
No, you're right.
distinct
You're
parts.
right. It was because
I
there
mean,
was like I said,
it was a slick hour and 40 minutes long. So it was really good timing on it. You know, it wasn't too long, wasn't too short. It was just about.
No, it was good. They definitely whatever fat they trimmed out of it. I would be curious to see what ended on the cutting room floor. I don't understand. Oh, what? I don't get
Your
it.
Aquaman doll with your incredible hair.
What's that have to do with what we're talking about now?
He threw it out there for fun.
So anyhow, I would like to see deleted scenes because this was, and this is a compliment, this was one of those movies where there's nothing I would have, it was already an hour and 40 minutes, and there was nothing I would have cut out of it.
No.
You know, there was nothing I was like, oh, this scene doesn't need to be there. They trimmed the fat off this movie really well.
There is some things I wanted to see added, but we'll get to that at the end of the movie.
Right. There were some, well, and that's just it. There were questions, you know, we had these questions and stuff. And I even remember at one point, because like I said, there was only 3 of us in the theater and we were all we weren't talking throughout the movie, but every now and then when it was quiet, somebody would say something. And I do remember saying towards the end, you know, I still have some unanswered questions I better get some answers to. And they did a good job of, I thought, when the movie was over, of giving you enough information to piece those answers together without thinking, oh, it could have also been this. I think the way you piece it together is accurate, you know?
Yes. So that was cool because it does leave some openings.
And it totally leaves openings for, like you made a comment when the movie was over, like, oh, they'll show that in the sequel. And the girl that was in the theater was like, there's a sequel?
She's like, there's a sequel for this? She was like all excited. We're like, no, but there could be.
But if it makes enough money, there could be. So anyhow, she shows up. It's a conflict with, they both booked the same Airbnb. Keith, his character, he's like, you know, you take the bedroom, I'll stay out here on the couch. Now it is funny because Justin Long is in the movie, and Justin Long plays an actor in the movie. And this is what really cracks me up. They set it up like he's a pretty well-known, famous actor that he plays, and he has investment property. And he's like, yeah, I've got investment property in Detroit, Michigan. And there's the one house, which is the Airbnb, which, you know, once you introduce his character, they show it's his house. But you're just like, you're like, they show a long shot in the day, you know, the next day of the house. And it's a very nice looking house. But every other house on this block is condemned. It's Detroit. It's literally the area of Detroit where they just give houses away.
That's like how bad it is. It's a 16-mile road out in that area where you've got between 13 and 16 mile. It is literally just like it. And I was like, oh, I would theoretically know where they are in Detroit.
Yeah. So you're just like, when this actor's like, yeah, I've got investment property. Yeah. When this actor's like, yeah, I got investment property, and it's this freaking house in the shit garbage, nobody would live there area of Detroit. Yeah, it's a nice house, but who's going to go Airbnb there? And you're just like, there's a reason why he has to get rid of some of his assets.
Well, the girl, Tess, is there for an interview. And they meet, and she's like, oh, I can't wait. We can really work together. This is really good, because she's there for a job interview. And she goes, oh, where are you staying? Oh, I'm staying at an Airbnb. And she goes, oh, really, where? And she tells her, and she's like, you're joking, right? And she goes, no, why? Oh, there's no Airbnbs there. And she goes, sure there is. I'm staying in one. It's not safe. You shouldn't be there. What? And then you realize that there's a reason why this is not just condemned by the looks. They reinforce it in the story, which was really awesome, because then you're like, oh, well, that kind of makes sense. And then she gets there and some guy's running down the street, lady, young lady. And she's like, got to get into the house.
Yeah. And that was after the interview that she had in the city itself, where the woman that interviewed her was like, do not, seriously, you should go someplace else. Yeah,
Yes.
a whole Detroit block. So anyhow, when she gets back after the interview, it's a nice sunny day, and this dude does come running down the street at her, and you're like, holy crap, this is insane. And she gets in the house, and then that guy does play a part in the movie later on. He's a homeless guy, whatever. He actually turns out, he's a nice guy and whatnot. He tries to help out. But, like Dennis said, she's in the house and she hears a noise and she goes down into the basement, and it's typical basement, and then she sees that she finds this secret door that's in the basement. And I mean, honestly, at that point, and this is where the three of us were kind of talking in the movie, we were all like, yeah, I'm out. I'm not opening. Well, okay, I shouldn't say I'm not opening the door. So I might have opened it because it could be a closet. You don't know, right? But when you open the door and it's pitch black and it's like long, it is. She sets up so she can get a light down the hallway, and it's this long, dark hallway. I mean, at that point, I'm out. It's not my house. It's some Airbnb. I got all my shit. I got my car out front. I'm taking it and I'm leaving. I'm not walking down the hallway.
Yep.
But she does. So that's another, let me just check that off the horror movie trope checkbox. Yes, walk down dark hallway.
Because we are literally the three of us. As soon as she goes, we're like, don't do it. It's literally the three of us in the whole theater. Don't do it. Oh, there you go. There you go. You're stupid. If you die, this is all on you now.
Yeah, basically. And I think you said that, or did the girl say that?
No, I said that. I said I have no sympathy for her anymore.
That's right. You were like, that's it. Sympathy's gone. You get what you deserve.
Yep.
So, she walks down. I guess we are going to tell spoilers. So if you don't want to hear any spoilers, sign off now.
Spoiler alert. Red alert.
Spoiler alert, because we're going to drop it all. So she walks down the hallway and she gets to the end of this hallway, which is, oh, I got to sneeze. Wait.
Well, sneeze it. Oh.
Excuse me. Jesus, there goes my
brain.
brain.
Muted that one.
I should have. So she gets to the end of the hallway, and there's a room. What's in the room, Dennis?
Well, when she gets down to the end of the room, there is end of the hall. There's a room. After she passes by cages that look like they were set up for dogs.
Nope. That was down the further hallway. That's not in this initial hallway.
Oh, then that was the room with the bed and the camera, an old VHS, like an RCA camera set up in there with it looked like a metal door, and then there's a bed and there's a blood-stained handprint right on the wall.
And the bed is just a twin-size mattress. There's no sheets or anything. It's disgusting looking. It's just gross. And there's nothing in the room like, and you're 100% right. They can.
Yep. And so they actually do.
She sees that room, and that's when I don't think, it's so funny, we just watched it. Did she go down that other hall at that point? Because basically at the end of the hallway, there's another fake door that she discovers. But I didn't think she went down. She did go down it.
She did. She went
down.
But
what made her turn around?
Well,
the noise.
Yes, there was a noise. So, but here's the funny part. She's downstairs, and then she's like looking because she gets trapped. The door shuts behind her, so she can't get back upstairs. So she's looking, and there's this rope like sitting attached to the wall, like coming out. So she starts pulling this rope, and the rope comes out, and all of a sudden a secret door opens, and she's like, what the hell is this? And that's where she finds that room. Then she finds another secret door after the bedroom that's down there. And then she starts walking down. Well, there's this descending stairs into nothingness, and it keeps going down, and that turns into like cave wall. Think of like an old mining cave going all the way down, and that's where she starts walking all the way down it.
Yes. And once again, it was the way they set the camera shot up was basically bottom of the steps, looking up this dark thing. You can only make out her silhouette. And we're just like, don't go down there. Do not go down there. And she starts walking down, but that's when she hears, well, she does get down. And then, like Dennis said, she goes, there's another long hallway. And right there, I'm thinking to myself, whoever created these hallways is really underground tunnels is really encroaching on the neighbors. Not cool.
Right.
Because the lots aren't
like
that big.
50 feet tunnels. I mean, there are hundreds of feet, if not like football length tunnel. Football field length.
So she's walking down there. She has her cell phone light. And there's these cages, like dog kennels, that are gross and stuff. But then she hears a noise. So she's like, she goes running back to the basement. She looks out the basement window, on her tippy toes, and she can see Keith at the front door who can't get in because he doesn't have the key. She does. Anyhow, they get the window open. He helps her out. They go inside the house. She's like, we got to get out of here. We got to get out of here. And he's like, whoa, 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 calm down. She's like, you don't understand. There's this room in the basement and blah, blah, blah. And I mean, this was kind of a part of the movie that I thought was, I didn't like the writing for his reaction because this girl's totally freaked out. She's literally telling you about a secret passage that goes to a room that has a bed in it with a camera bucket and stuff.
They kept
and a
talking
bucket,
about the bucket.
A piss bucket and stuff. And Skarsgård's character Keith is just like, okay, I mean, so there's a room, it's a basement, and there's a room in it.
Let me go look at it. And she's like, no, we got to get out of here. No, just let me go look at it. No, look, you're like freaking out, and there's a bed in a bucket. So what? So then she gets all, oh my God, and how dare you?
But don't you think he took it a little too light from the way she was acting? I mean, honestly, I don't know. And if it was me, I might have been like, I might have said, let me go look. But as soon as I walked into the basement and saw that long hallway, secret door shit in that hallway, I would have been like, I'm out. And I would have walked back up the stairs and been like, yep, I don't need to go into that hallway.
Yeah, but
I hear what you're
she
saying.
kept sitting there going, you need to stay here. Just wait. Just stay here. Just stay here. She wants to bolt. I would have been like, girl, get the hell out of here. I'll go check it out. Because, I mean, really, I thought it was a little contrived how he got her to keep, and then, of course, disappears.
Right. And so she doesn't hear from him. So she goes down in there, but she keeps the door propped open this time from the top of the basement stairs. And she goes down there, and I hear you. I mean, I've got one right here.
And just so you know, Cobra Kai, I'm watching Cobra Kai right now. Also on Cobra Kai, just saying. Must watch season.
There's a pee jug on Cobra Kai?
Yep.
Okay. I was wondering where this connection's going. So anyhow, she goes down there and she goes down the hallway again, looks into the room. He's not in the room. And you're like, oh, he is setting her up, because I really thought he was the bad guy in all this. And she hears him yelling for help down. She opens that other fake door with the big stairs, hears him yelling for help. So she goes down there. He comes running at her out of the pitch blackness. And he's like, we got to get out of here. Something bit me. And she's like, okay, let's get out of here. And then just come running down the hall. No joke. Comes running down the hall. Is this like 6'8", 7 foot tall beast of a naked, gross woman, jugs flapping around. I lean to Dennis and I go, well, at least we got to see some Tetons in this movie. Gnarly face, just gross. And he's like, we got to get out of here. And this big beast of a woman takes him and just smashes his head into the concrete wall and kills him. And I was like, nice twist. I thought he was a bad guy.
There was some good twists. So this is where the movie completely changes gear. And you're like, what the F? Seriously, what the F is this all about now? And then I really don't want to give too much spoilers from here out because they actually need to see, because once we hit these twists, the twists continue. Now, the cool thing is they start doing some flashbacks, and then you start seeing what happened in the 1980s in this area when the houses were nice. And then you see what kind of happened there. Then you come back to the present. So they do a nice job of filling in these gaps that wind up happening in there. And you're like, oh.
I gotta say, when they flash back, it was at the beginning. It was around 1984, because the song that they were playing to kind of key you in, it was cool the way they did it, because they after the big beastie chick kills Skarsgård character, basically you get a reaction shot of the girl Tess petrified, and then it cuts to a nice sunny day. You're outside the house, but you realize you're in a different time because the neighborhood's really nice, and you hear the music, which it was Asia's In the Heat of the Moment, where in the song it says 1984. So you're like, okay, I know where we're at. And this dude that owns that house that they're in comes walking out. And of course, he's kind of a creepy looking dude. And he gets in his car and he goes to buy some items that are kind of like, okay, that's weird. That's weird what you're buying, but okay. And then when he gets home, his neighbor comes out. And like I said, the houses are beautiful. And I actually leaned over to Dennis and I said, it is so sad that this street, and this is what Detroit looked like in the 80s, compared to going there now and going, yeah, I'd like to buy that block.
Right.
Here's $1,000, and you could probably get away with buying a block of houses.
Those houses, it was like a planned neighborhood where got your like 1,400 square foot houses. They all have the same size lot, the perfect grass, the exact same width of the curvature of the curb and everything like that. So, I mean, it was this planned community, and the neighbor's like, yeah, I'm just letting you know, we're putting our sign up. We're getting out while we still can. Economy's going bad. This place is going to hell, and we're going to get out while we can. And Frank's like, I'm not going nowhere.
Right. Which leads you to go, oh, so this must be the bad guy. And then from there, it cuts to Justin Long, present day, driving down the highway in California, coastal highway, in his convertible, and he gets himself a phone call. And this is when you find out he's an actor and stuff. And basically he shot a pilot, and his two agents are on the phone. And basically there's some Me Too allegation against him from somebody he shot the pilot with, a woman.
And he's getting fired from it.
Yeah, he's going to get shit canned. And then it cuts to him in the office with the guy that handles all his finances, his wealth management guy. And that's when, he's like, well, I mean, the wealth management guy's like, look, what this lawsuit's going to cost you, you're going to probably have to sell your house here. And he's like, what? He's like, well, I've got some properties that I rent out and stuff. Oh, really? Where are those? In Detroit. You're just like,
he goes, surely they make money. And he's like, a couple do. None of the other ones do. And you're like, well, now we know why.
Exactly. So he books it to Detroit just to get out of LA for a while. And this is where everything kind of comes full circle, because Justin Long shows up at the house. And now you're like, oh, the girl Tessa's car is still out front. So it can't be that much of a big time jump. And it's not. He's, it's probably
days.
Maybe
a week.
Days to maybe a week after Tess gets captured by this 6'8" beastie naked chick that's just gross. Even though Dennis was like, she's kind of hot. And I'm like, dude, she does have a nice rack. But other than that, come on, Dennis.
No, think of Andy putting on the wig in the morning, because her hair was long.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
When Christine shows up.
That's much better, because I honestly don't know what you're talking about. When my assistant Christine shows up, but she's not 7 feet tall. She's a petite 5'5". That's right. Kor-Drath, The Reckoning. Now on Indiegogo. In fact, here's the new trailer. Here's a slight commercial break for Kor-Drath, The Reckoning's new trailer.
Back us on Indiegogo.
Oh, I love that little backup on Indiegogo.
I do too. Jimmy Reyes with a great video.
Jimmy Reyes, thank you so much. Anyhow, back to the show. Commercial break over. Go back, Kor-Drath, The Reckoning now if you haven't. Creeping up on 600 backers, only 17 away. Let's do it. Adriana's got game. Randy says, you darn right she's got game. And a nice rack. That's what you mean by game. So Justin Long gets to his house. He's like, what the hell? There's suitcase here and stuff. He calls up his management company, which is not the Airbnb, and it's not the management company that Keith used, Skarsgård character used.
They all use somebody different.
So, and they're like, nah, nobody's there. What are you talking about? And he's like, well, what the shit? There's stuff here, whatever. And
suitcases, keys, cell phones, laptops. Nope, nobody there.
So then it gets this is pretty funny because this dude's obviously going to need money. So fast forward some in the movie, he goes downstairs into the basement because he hears something. He sees the hallway, the door with the hallway. So he goes down it. He sees that extra room that has the shitty twin size bed and the camera and the piss bucket. And the next thing you know, he's on his laptop in the kitchen and he's Googling to see if that extra square footage can be added to the square footage of the actual house so he can get more money for it. And he finds in Google that in some unusual cases it can. So he takes a freaking tape measure.
Big
tape measure downstairs and starts measuring the hallway and then measures the room so he can add that square footage to the listing of the house.
And then finds the secret door and goes, holy crap, there's more. Starts up there and starts going down that long hallway, down the cave entrance all the way down.
He starts with the tape measure at the top of the steps, like Dennis said, and measures down and then starts measuring that hallway, gets to the area, the little cutout cove with the dog cages. He just looks at him like, huh, and then just keeps measuring. So, I mean, that was just, oh man, a movie.
You start questioning Justin Long's character at that point.
Oh, at that point, yeah.
You start realizing that he's really not a good guy in the first thing. His name's AJ, so it's a good thing our AJ's not on here. But AJ winds up being just you're finding out he's a bad dude, and you're finding out, well, because then they accuse him of rape, and his buddy's like, all right, like, did you do it? And he goes, just tell me the story. And he goes, no, here's the truth. I we had sex. And yeah, I kind of had to force the issue for a little bit, but once we got going, it was okay. We had fun. I don't know what the big deal is. And
Well, the
then
whole thing
you're
is,
like,
so the whole
whoa.
trouble he's in is he's with the sitcom, or the pilot that he shot, is the actress on it is accusing him of rape. So they do throw in, yeah, right. Justin playing Ezra
Seriously,
Miller.
that
Could
was
have.
my thought in the movie. Yeah, boy. I was like, that is literally what you think of Ezra Miller today. Yes.
It's true. So yeah, so they do a scene where he's at a bar with a buddy of his in Detroit, and that is one of the reasons he's in Detroit and has houses there, is because that's where he's from. But anyhow, so yeah, so his buddy's like, "Come on, you can tell me," and yeah, so he's basically like, "Well, you know me, I'm like a dog with a bone. I get what I want. I mean, I wasn't forceful, but I was just, come on, it'll be fun, and and whatever." So he's a scumbag.
He is. And then later in the movie, he starts questioning, am I a good guy? Am I a bad guy? Or am I a good guy that just does bad things? And
Yeah.
I was like, there were so many good lines in this movie. And I was just like, oh my God. You start realizing. So one thing that they do, they develop these characters very well. You understood Tessa's motive, what she was going through, what she was like. You see her going from one end to the other. AJ, you're just like, oh my God, seriously, dude? And I really don't want to spoil the ending of this, but
No,
he does something so you're just like, oh my God, he did not just do that. And like sitting there in the seat going, holy crap. And it was amazing.
Especially after this, you could say, little monologue he gives about wanting to be a better person. And then at the end of the movie, he goes and does this thing where literally we were all of us in the theater, the three of us were all like, what the F?
We were all like, no.
I like Justin Long as an actor. I haven't seen him in anything in forever.
I do too.
And, he's not known for movies like this. So it was cool seeing him in something different.
Seriously, and I will say, after Galaxy Quest.
I will say about Georgina, is that her name that played Tess?
Yeah.
I will say about her character, I was really afraid that it was going to be, oh no, here we go. The dude's a F up. She's going to save the day, of course, because the guys are idiots. But it wasn't. I didn't get that at all. I didn't get any real wokeness from this movie at all.
No, it really wasn't, which was also very refreshing. So.
And she played, she's the star of the movie. So I think that's enough said on, how the movie, part of the movie ends with her.
I say let's just stop and give it a grade, because anymore we're really going to spoil.
All right.
This movie is worth watching.
All right, I'll go first. I'm gonna go. I'm giving it an 8.0.
Wow, me too. We agree.
Yeah. Oh my God, dude! I thought you were going to come in at like a 7 or a 6.5. To be honest, at the beginning.
No, I'm telling you, the moment that third of the movie, which was solidly done, it was such a misdirect in the movie. I was like, holy crap, I never saw that coming. Oh, I didn't see that coming either. They did a really nice job of keeping you off. I enjoyed all the characters, for they were well written. Most of the dialogue was solid. I like the flashback scenes. This is a movie worth seeing. Definitely 8.0. This was a solid movie.
And I think it's a movie, it's one of those things. Look, if you've got a huge TV, just turn all the lights off, because it does, atmospheric wise, being the horror thriller that it is, it would definitely be better in a nice dark theater or a dark room compared to, watching a movie at your house on your big screen with all the lights on.
All right.
So 8.0.
Yep. Let's change gears and talk a few minutes of She-Hulk, because then we're going to have to bolt to get on to Michael Bancroft. So we don't have a link for it, but we're going to be on his show in about 20 minutes. So we got to head out to hop on.
That's right.
But we both did get a chance to watch She-Hulk.
We did. And, This episode was basically, if you're watching the show, the end of the previous episode, episode 4, she got served with papers from Titania to basically stop using the name She-Hulk because Titania trademarked it. Now, I can tell you this, but this is TV time. TV time's always different. What I mean by that is, take an episode of Law and Order. A crime happens in the beginning, an hour later, justice has been served. We all know it's a slow roll. So I just went through trademark stuff with Astonishing Comics. It has taken going on a year and a half. So there's no way in hell Titania could have trademarked She-Hulk that quick. But that being said, basically Jennifer Walters hires one of the attorneys at the law firm she works for to represent her, to countersue, to, get the trademark back, because Titania is selling all sorts of perfume and merchandise using the name She-Hulk. There's billboards, radio commercials, all this stuff. There were funny moments in the show. AJ's here. Everybody can relax. Thank God.
We just talked about you, AJ, so thanks.
So now you got to go back and watch. So I give more latitude to what's up, Angry Gamer. I give more latitude to She-Hulk with the stuff they do because it is supposed to be a sitcom.
Yeah, and I will agree with that. However, the couple of things that struck out, and I was just disgusted watching it.
All right, let's hear them.
So Jennifer Walters is literally the worst lawyer I've ever met in my life. So she knew this. She goes into her boss because you start seeing Titania, the She-Hulk, this on snake oil and this and this and this. And she's like, oh. Her boss sits down.
Dennis, you need to make AJ a wrench. How dare he not be a wrench on your on the DNA channel, you bastard.
I will do that right now.
While he's doing that, and he can come back to his. Oh, okay. So go ahead. What were you saying?
So her boss sits her down, and he's like, you're supposed to be in charge of the superhero division, yeah. And now we have frivolous lawsuits because you're not taking care of business. What? And she's like, well, I'll handle this. Don't worry, I'll go to court. And I'm going to handle this. And he's like, no, you won't. Next thing we know, we see a great actress who played a great lawyer in this. And she's like, I'm glad you understood that you can't represent yourself. She didn't. Her boss had to sit there and basically set her straight. Everything she thought in this episode was wrong. And I'm like, all you got to do is prove that they were using She-Hulk first. This was like basic copyright stuff. And she knew nothing. Every approach she took was completely wrong. Her lawyer that was represented her was great. So I'm like, oh my God. So my wife and I are sitting here.
Well, I will say in defense, she did come up with the winning argument though.
Well, she did, but it was the most obvious thing in the world.
I'm not saying it wasn't. I'm just saying the other lawyer didn't. But
I know they had to save face for her. It was freaking awful.
One of the things they introduced, and this is where, yes, it's a sitcom, but I really think you need to play this aspect of it a little more serious, is they introduce and I can't remember the guy's name, but they introduce a underground superhero costume designer.
Yes.
So, where you go to, if you need clothes that fit, or if you need a costume, whatever. So they introduced this guy, and obviously, it's very stereotypical male fashion designer. Oh my God, what are we working with here? Oh, woo, girl, what a mess. What is this that just walked in? Oh, good Lord. So very stereotypical. Yes, I get it. She-Hulk is supposed to be a comedy, but in the Marvel universe, which she still is in, I would have played that more straight, because in Daredevil got his suit made by a guy that eventually becomes a villain. Yes, we are. Angry Gamer says, you mean he's gay? I didn't say that, but my God, yes, you could assume that. Oh my God, what is she wearing? Oh, so I wish that was played straighter. I don't mind the fact that it was like this underground thing, and it's like, oh, what's your? And there wasn't a password, but it was kind of like, oh, what's the password? It was
literally
made
every stereotypical trope once again walking into this.
But it would have been, but I wouldn't have minded it if it was played serious like it was in Daredevil when Daredevil went to the guy to make his costume.
Absolutely. And I get this is a sitcom and they had to buy Avengers gear in order to go meet him and all of that stuff. Okay, that was cute. Titania is cute in this, but we're assuming she's got superpowers, but we really haven't really seen anything other than that very first meeting for that 10 seconds.
Right. I mean, you don't know if it comes from a suit the suit that she was wearing, or if she actually has superpowers. You have no idea. And, needless to say, at the end of the episode, She-Hulk, Jennifer Walters wins the case and Titania has to stop using the trademark. She has to take all the branding down. She just loses it. It's She-Hulk's. And she goes up to She-Hulk in the courtroom and basically says, oh, honey, this isn't over. And you're just like, it's a superhero show. Punch the bitch. Get into a fight. Come on. Let's get some action in here.
In Cobra Kai, every episode's got fighting, even if it's in a bar, if it's in the street, if it's at a pool, it doesn't matter. This one, this isn't really a superhero show at all. I mean, there's nothing other than she's tall and green and kind of cute with really bad CGI.
Yeah, the CGI, they actually did make a joke about Here Comes Shrek. When Jennifer Walters walked in the courtroom, Titania did. So I got to admit, I chuckled at that because, the CGI is not on par with the movies. And that's a shame. And they should really step up the game. Why do they
torture ourselves?
Well, I have
you don't have to, and you can just hear an abbreviated.
I do have a legit reason, though. My daughter's 19. She doesn't know any better. She enjoys all this stuff. She likes watching it with me because her mom doesn't watch the stuff. So I don't mind spending that half hour watching this stuff with her because it's fun and it's something the two of us can share and do together. So I don't mind
just take bullets.
Right. Dennis just takes bullets. But you do make your wife watch it with her.
There was an absolutely wonderful cameo at the end, which was better than the whole rest of the show put together.
There was, and there was no. Okay, so Randy, how many episodes are left? There's 4. Yeah, I believe it's 9 episodes, so there's 4 left. There was no. This is another one that I don't know why Marvel made this decision. Every episode of She-Hulk, so the first 4 episodes all had after credit scenes. This episode did not, and I think it was a mistake because they've already done it 4 times in a row. So why not keep it going? Now it did have a nice little tag, a nice little teaser that was the very last shot because it wasn't a different scene. It was in the last scene, but then the very last shot of this episode was a great teaser for a guest that's going to be showing up probably next episode, who is Daredevil. And we'll just, leave it at that.
See, I suffered through the Twilight movies with my daughter for that same reason.
I suffered through Hunger Games.
The final one. Oh.
And I suffered through Hunger Games. And every now and then, Dennis really wants me to suffer through E.T., but I just won't do it. So
it's too bad.
But then again, Dennis has never seen Pulp Fiction.
Nope.
So he has no excuse.
No, I do have an excuse.
No, you don't.
My excuse.
Because you could have went back and watched it without that woman.
No, it tainted that movie forever. I'll never go back and watch it. My sister-in-law ruined it.
You're just being a little bitch, is what I'm hearing.
My wife won't watch it either.
Well, then she's being a little.
I'm going to tell her you said that. So
no,
when
I
you
said
see
you're
Andy
being a
next to
little.
black and blue, you know why.
I said you're being a little bitch. Your wife is just being a little nitpicky.
Oh, there we go. So we got to rate this. I am giving She-Hulk a 3.5. The little cameo at the end was hands down the highlight. The little Shrek comment was cute. Titania was kind of cute what she did. Yep, the rest of it was garbage.
See, I'm just not as harsh. I would give it a. I don't know. I'd give it a 5.5. It really rings of a network. You know, when I say network, I mean one of the three: CBS, ABC, or four: NBC and Fox. It really just comes across as a network sitcom. But I will say this: it comes across as a network sitcom that, as I'm watching it, I would be like, "There's no way this is getting picked up for a second season."
Well, a sitcom implies that you laugh. Other than that
I did,
one
though.
little Shrek joke,
Honestly,
I didn't laugh at all.
Honestly, I do, because when she's Jennifer Walters, so the actress playing her, her normal human self, every now and then she says something that makes me chuckle. When she's She-Hulk, even though the CGI isn't that great, some of the facial expressions and some of the sarcasm and stuff does make me laugh. And her assistant, her legal aid, her paralegal, and the other lawyer, the guy that's in the show, as an actor, I think he's pretty good. Those two, when they team up,
Yes.
I think they have good chemistry, and they make me laugh
better
as well.
chemistry than anybody else in the show.
Right, and they make me laugh as well.
Thing.
So I do get a chuckle out of this show. So, overall, I see what they're trying to do, but I think, like I said, my biggest problem with this episode was making a joke out of the clothes designer for the superhero.
Right. I think the show fails
turn-off.
as a comedy. I think the show fails as a superhero show. I think this show fails as a law show. It doesn't succeed on any level. I mean, even my wife's like, it's kind of cute. I mean, she's kind of cute when she's, in She-Hulk form. It's just garbage, And again, for those of you who don't know, I love She-Hulk.
I know you do. You've
got stuff is fantastic. It's fantastically written. It's fun. It's the comedy lands, the art. I mean, John Byrne. It's probably my favorite run. It's all really good stuff. This has none of the fun or good characteristics from it. I thought when they broke the fourth wall, I thought they would enjoy that, and she has done it. And earlier, she did it successfully in the first couple of episodes, but she did it again here, and it fell completely flat. I'm done.
Well, it's a good thing you still have your She-Hulk body pillow to go to bed with later tonight.
No, I do have the Bowen statue downstairs, so I am content.
You can tuck yourself in with that. I get it. Freak.
I could
Weirdo.
Be much happier.
Weirdo.
So we should do a Kor-Drath update, and hopefully we get our link to go over.
Here's the Kor-Drath update. We're at 43,146, 583 backers, 17 backers to go. If you haven't backed it yet, get on it. There's no need to wait. Jump right on it now. You guys are great. We appreciate you all. For people that have not seen this, we can just run down. Kor-Drath: The Reckoning, 64 action-packed pages. It's the story of Kor-Drath and his lover Adriana. They're from two different tribes. Kor-Drath's tribe, the Red Lions. That's right. Woo, baby. Gets overrun by the undead from the Necronite, aided by Lilith. They sick the undead upon Kor-Drath's tribe, looking for an ancient artifact. Kor-Drath is now looking for revenge. He's going to bring a reckoning upon them. It's going to be full of action. If you like D&D, if you like He-Man, if you like fantasy adventure, you will like this. As AJ says, it's MAGA, make ass kicking great again. That's what this book is going to do. Let's just go through some stuff. That is my main cover right there for the book with Kor-Drath and Adriana. Get a nice sense of what's going on. I did this nice wraparound cover. It will not have any cover treatment or logos to obscure the artwork. It is a wraparound cover. Doing a black and white cover, black, white, and blood, where you just see the bloody axe. And then you, of course, can see the line work and stuff. We've got Bud Root, stepped up, did a nice, beautiful variant cover that was colored by the Dan Lawless, who colored my main cover. You can still get this one. We did offer a black and white version of this for the first 24 hours. You never know, it could come back. But if you really want it, there is a bundle up here where you can get it all, which is all 5 covers, including the Bud Root black and white cover and the oversized 80-page hardcover artist edition as well. Of course, we have character descriptions. You can go through and read it at your leisure. The artist edition will be 80 pages, oversized. All the black and white art, because I still work traditionally on paper, will be scanned in full color so you can see the gradation in the ink tones. You can see white out, because I do use white out. You can see the blue on the paper outline and stuff, the guide marks, all that stuff, stray pencil marks. You can check all that stuff out. So please, if you've backed the campaign, thank you so much. Back it again, because that's a thing. I've backed campaigns multiple times. If you haven't backed it, I don't know what you're waiting for. Get on it. The parody ad that I'm known for doing in all my books, this is my 4th parody ad. Dennis wrote it with the little Looney Tunes vibe. It is zombie season and wraith season, and they are drinking a good hard beer after all that hunting. So it's a very fun ad. Drew it in a throwback style, flat color, little newsprint going on to really give it that vibe. Lots of fun stuff in the campaign, including a great t-shirt. Bud Root's original art has already sold. But stretch goals, once we hit 50 and 60, you'll get these 7x10 printed character cards on heavy stock paper.
Bancroft's going live.
SRD compatible. Let me see if I've got a link from him. Hold on. Well, he needs to send me a link. So as soon as he sends the link, we will we'll get on it. Let me just double check. There's the link. All right, guys. Wait, is that the link? No, that's not the link. Wait, did he send me a new one yet? No, he hasn't sent me a link yet. See, I knew it.
Well, you better text him. So,
Nope.
guys, I'm popping it in the thing because we're going to be going on his.
He's writing me now, so we're going to end this. Here is the campaign. Please go back it now if you haven't already. And I don't want any more variant covers, but I'd like to see something that looks like a 1E adventure module. Stay tuned is all I'll say. Guys, we got to bounce out of here. Join us on Michael Bancroft. We'll catch you guys later. Bye-bye, everybody.